Hi guys, it's another Friday. Well, thank God for another Friday. Welcome to another edition of Thank God It's Friday Story Time. I Will Make It is the title of this episode. So I lost my boyfriend of 4 years to the cold hands of death. I have no idea what to do with the rest of my life. Literally speaking, I have entirely no idea. Finn was my all in totality, and I dreaded a day without him, hence my insecurity and jealous nature. But here I am, a future without my baby. So we got to the burial. I joined his colleague as I couldn't get myself to go earlier or a day before like some people suggested, given the circumstances surrounding his death. Smith and I got down from his Lexus 350. The car reminded me the last time I was so happy and on a getaway with my baby and his friends. The car came barely 2 months ago, and to wash it, Smith brought the idea of a weekend getaway, and we all headed to Obutu Cattle Ranch. That excitement was the peak of it all since ever we started dating. 8 of them with their women on a convoy from Aba to Calabar. The closest excitement was his proposal. It wasn't like the conventional proposal. We were in bed one early morning when he asked me, "Can we go to the next stage now?" Still with my sleepy eyes. "What do you mean?" I replied. He showed me the ring. "Will you marry me?" They are the only words I could say at the time. Then I hit him twice. "Why are you hitting me?" he said, laughing. Yes. I grabbed him and kissed him. He placed the ring on my finger, then later took it back and said, "Let's plan a surprise party for your engagement." Yes, I practically planned my own surprise engagement. Later that evening, we arranged the hotel room. A saxophonist was there. The room was all red. There was a cake, and the atmosphere was so romantic. I acted it so well that my baby was shocked that he could swear that I was hearing it for the first time. We stood in front of the car waiting for Steve and the rest to join us. They had a little challenge finding a place to park. They soon got to us and we all walked towards the compound. The cop's head at shoulders level was in front while the band led. As we walked, my legs were shaking. I shifted my entire weight on Smith. My nose and eyes were both running freely. I was still wondering how we got here. My baby Finn is a lifeless body everybody is gathered here for. God, please, wake me from this bad dream. Let me wake up next to the love of my life once again and hear him call, "Hey, butter," with the best smiles ever. Our beach walk, our pillow fights, our video game, our romantic dinner. Oh no. At this point, I really wouldn't mind giving up my left arm or bum just so I can have my baby back. We entered the compound. Finn's mom from nowhere descended on me. "What are you doing here? After killing him," she kept shouting while dragging my chiffon black top. I was as stunned as I never saw it coming. All eyes turned towards us as Smith tried his best to liberate me from her shackles, but all to no avail. Other people gathered to even know and understand what was going on. She almost stripped me naked. If not for the firmness Steve and Smith were using to hold her grip. Mommy, please. Mommy, please. Mommy, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Were the only words coming out of my mouth. The rest were tears and mucus. Everyone was begging her, even Finn's father. Even Finn's father was begging. Then his father shouted with a thick, harsh voice, Margaret, will you leave that young lady alone this moment? And everywhere was dead silent, both those begging and those crying. This is our son's fate. We must bear it. She fell on the floor, still sobbing. Fino, Fino. She kept sobbing. Take her inside, said the father. My clothes were so rumpled and sagged, even the armpit side got some tear. I have never gathered such attention in my life before. I couldn't stay anymore. People were still staring at me while Steve and Smith led me back to where the car was parked. So we walked, and I heard people saying and murmuring some words like girls of nowadays to fiakwa. Did she use Finn Unwan Lambert for Ogwego? Yes, now, chai. Those were their words. This is the biggest embarrassment of my life, but the one I have lived and the future to come. I won't mind what happened, or even worse, if it will bring my baby back, but no way. I have to bear this and the pain of losing him too. Smith and Steve couldn't leave the burial, as Steve gave his car key to Mike, their driver, to take me home. On the way I cried like my life depended on it. I was crying out loud and hitting myself. Mike tried to console me. Madam, please stop crying before you enjoy yourself. Oh, Finn's mother had no right to do what she did, but I couldn't stop. He said it to console me. I said she had every right. In fact, she was right. I killed Finn. Everything was just happening so fast. Who could believe I would never witness Finn's laid to rest? Often when he discussed about his family, and we stretched to talking about his mother, he will always tell me his mother's love was unbeatable and how emotional she can get. But I never knew it could be this violent. I don't blame her at all. I practically killed him. I did. I got home. I couldn't even get myself to remove the clothes or take a shower till around midnight. One thought running over around my head. The thoughts that the humiliation is the penance for my actions filled my head. I severally tried to push it away, but it just won't leave. There is no way that incident could compare to what I did. My insecurity, like always, got the better part of me. Finn is a very lovely guy, handsome, rich, though daddy's money, but at the same time, very humble, sincere, and faithful. I know all these qualities. I have also put them to test, which he passed. But I still can't get myself to relax on my jealousy and insecurity. As I laid on the bathtub, the shower sprinkling on my body, I recalled the event of 3rd January, a date I have already tattooed on the right arm. Never to forget, no matter what becomes of me tomorrow. We have arranged on a hangout at the popular amusement park as usual. I had to visit the hospital earlier without his notice because I was having some symptoms and I guessed I was, or I might be, with a child. So I wanted to break the news to him at the park. We agreed on 5 p.m. Around 4:12, I left the hospital. My assumption was right. So with the joy and all, I packed the fruits and the food. Got to the park by 4:55 p.m. Called him. He said he was on his way but had to drop Pascaline, who I usually refer to as his office girlfriend. We joked about it and I dropped the call. Got there, arranged the mat, set the plate with fruits while strategically positioning the lab test. Time check, 6:00 p.m. He was yet to arrive. Anger gradually arose and I started calling every minute, like 20 times in a minute. He would pick some, leave some, and kept telling me traffic. 6:35, I started abusing him on calls, accusing him of spending our time with the P girl, like he always called her. He kept explaining, but whatever he was saying wasn't entering my ear. I told him he was not seeing me again and dropped the call. He kept calling, but I wasn't picking. He started texting me. I replied telling him not to text me again, that I was leaving. Then he dropped the last text I got from him. Please don't go. I will make it. Instead, I dropped plenty more abusive texts on him. Anyone who knows me knows I can text for Africa, especially when I'm angry. The text was plenty, and up to 7:45 p.m. he didn't show up. People that take care of the garden had already started cleaning and were staring at me like a forgotten handbag. I was there, still frowning, when I noticed someone coming to tell others something. Initially, I thought they were talking about me till they all left what they were doing and followed him. I just left the food items and then packed the plate roughly into the basket, grubblingly dragging the basket, and got to the gate. I heard people discussing the accident. The key words I heard was he was pressing his phone while driving and didn't see the mark coming. I thought to myself, so people still risk their life pressing their phones while driving. And in a split seconds, I shouted, "Finn!" I went back to ask them what car it was and where. The guy said a red RAV4 and Mac. Oh my God, I shouted, dropping the basket and covering my mouth with hands. I kept shouting, "Finn! Finn! Finn!" My legs come to the ground like I was transfixed. Then, as though I was pushed, I found myself running to the accident scene, which was like a pull away from the park. I got to the scene. Blood was everywhere. Finn's car was bashed beyond repair. I kept shouting, Finn, 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 Finn. People there had me and told me they have taken him to St. Bay Hospital. Someone volunteered to take me there. On getting to the hospital, I was told he was already dead. His face was disfigured. I couldn't recognize him. I couldn't recognize my baby. I lost grip of people holding me. I rushed to the stretcher, dragged him to wake up, but my baby was already cold. He couldn't feel my tears. Oh my God, what have I done? I sat down on the foot of the stretcher, opened my mouth, but no sound was coming out. My throat was dried up and contracted. Still, I was trying to push the pain out through words, but I couldn't say anything. Within 1 hour, Steve and Smith arrived. Then 3 hours later, his parents and 2 siblings arrived. The whole hospital felt the mother's agony. If she had the power, she would have put down the hospital. Eyewitness explained to the father that he was pressing his phone while driving, and one of them handed a phone which they got inside Finn's car over to the dad, and the brother unlocked it. He saw our chat and immediately faced me, raining abuses on me and telling me it will never be well with me in this life, that I am responsible for his brother's death. His mother, on hearing this, took over. I barely escaped the hospital alive. I just don't know if I just don't know if I am to keep the baby for his memories or terminate it, because I don't know if his family will ever accept it as their son's child, or despise the child like they despise me right now. I love Finn and we want to keep the baby for memory's sake. Never tell them, but at the same time, it might be a consolation for the family, his mother especially. Oh my God, what do I do? He said, I will make it, but he never did. He never did. Fresh out from the stable of Mega Mentality Production, Mr. Bourne. Thank you for coming around. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next Friday.
If you want to be seeing more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel below and make sure to ring that bell to be notified when our next video goes live.